beautiful humans, and welcome back to my channel. This week I thought we could make a little bit of a post-quarantine, hopefully summer bucket list. Being out here at this beautiful national forest this week has really got me thinking a lot about why we built this van, what we wanted to get out of this van, and all of the adventures we are going to go on in this van. As I am getting a little bit stir crazy and a little bit inspired by the beautiful nature that I'm finding myself in, I wanted to create a list of some things that I really want to do when I have the freedom to do them again. So these are some things that I have never... Okay, bye! So some of these things are a little bit more adventurous than my usual self, but the whole lockdown has really left me wanting to embrace life more, be a little bit more adventurous, and push myself out of my comfort zone a little bit. So through all of my thinking, I have come up with 13 things that I want to do this summer, and I thought I could put a bullet journal page together for it. I just noticed that there's actually only 12 things on my list. That is such a me thing to do. 12 things. That way I can check them off as I do them, keep track of my progress, and see just how adventurous I can get this summer. If you guys have been watching my channel for a little bit now, you may have seen other bullet journal videos before. I have really gotten into bullet journaling through the quarantine. It's been a really nice hobby of mine. I found it very therapeutic. It's a really nice way for me to incorporate my creative side into my type anus. No. My creative side into my planning and my work, and checking in with it every day ensures that I check in with myself every day, and I've really been loving it. I have previously made a video on my full bullet journaling process. If you guys are interested in a little bit more of that, I will pop that video up here on the screen for you guys. I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the bullet journal situation that I have set up for myself this month. A lot of people have gotten into gardening through the quarantine, but I can't really do that in my van, so I have garden themed my bullet journal for the month. We've got the May page, my goals, month at a glance. Got my mood tracker and my habit tracker this month. Guys, I'm just so obsessed with how this turned out. I've been loving bullet journaling so much. It's so cool to see the pages like come to life throughout the month as you fill them out. This is where we will be bucket listing, and then this is my 1 line a day page. I'm doing this month instead of the gratitude page, just to try something a little bit different. And then from there, I've just got my weekly spreads set up for the month. Without further ado, let's go through the 12 things on my 2020, hopefully summer, post-quarantine bucket list. So the first thing I have on my list here is cliff jumping. So I'm actually quite afraid of heights. Not so much being high off the ground, but like jumping off of things, having my body just like free falling terrifies me. So I thought this would be a good way to have a little bit of summer fun and like conquer fear at the same time. I'm definitely a water child, so maybe, you know, the water waiting for me at the bottom will help like get me off the edge. I don't know. So next on my list is to try woofing. They have woofing programs available in multiple countries across the world. For those of you that don't know, woofing stands for Worldwide Organic Farming. So the principle behind this is it is a work trade program. Josh and I are very interested in eventually becoming farmers or owning a self-sustaining garden farm sort of property in the future. So I thought it would be a really cool way for us to be able to experience that lifestyle, try it out for ourselves, and hopefully fall even more in love with the idea. I was raised more of a city gal, so I've actually never done any gardening or farming of any kind. So I thought this would be a really neat way to try those things out before I just like buy a farm. It's kind of a try before you buy sort of situation. The best part with the van is that we will even have our home with us. I feel like that might enhance the experience for Josh and I to be able to like actually have our home with us and be on a farm and really get to see what that feels like. I think it'll be a really neat experience. So the next thing on my list is go overnight hiking or backpacking. So I have done a lot of hiking in my days, but I have never been overnight hiking. Honestly, I just really don't like carrying stuff, so having to carry absolutely everything I need with me sounds a little bit intimidating. Eventually in my life, I would like to do like a really long backpacking trip, but I feel like we should start small. So I am happiest when out in nature, so I feel like this will be a really beautiful experience. Okay, so next on my list is to see the Grand Canyon. I know this is pretty standard across bucket lists, but I feel like it's just one of those things that you gotta do because it's so amazing and you gotta see it. I've actually never been out west. This is definitely at the top of my list for when we head that direction later this year, but I will talk to you guys a little bit more about our van travel plans at the end of this video. Another thing I wanted to do when we head out west is to drive the Pacific Coast Highway. I am through and through a beach baby. Put me near some water, put me near the ocean, and I am one happy gal. So I'm very much looking forward to this. There's just something about a beautiful drive that, you know, can't beat it. Moving right along. So after quarantine is over and we begin traveling again, we want to try and go to more national parks this go around. Like I said in my last video, Josh and I are huge fans of national forest camping because it is free and we've just gotten pretty comfortable with it, and it's just kind of our go-to at this point. So before we head out this time, I want to get a national parks pass and go and see all of those beautiful landmarks. I don't know how many we will actually get to, but I actually, as an adult, don't think I have ever been to a national park, and I want to change that. Another thing on my list of things to do while we are out west is to see a show at the Red Rocks Amphitheater. I am a live music lover. Attending concerts, shows, music festivals is one of my favorite things to do ever on the whole planet. I miss live music so terribly, it hurts. It's such an absolutely incredible venue, and I think seeing a live performance there would be absolutely unreal, and I'm very excited about it. So hopefully by the time that national travel is allowed again, concerts and things like that will be a thing again as well. This next one is a little bit less about me and more about my dog, but most of my life is about my dog, so what's new there? So I really want to take Haley to a dog beach. Haley has actually never been to the ocean. A lot of the beaches that we have been to in the past few years have been pet-free beaches, which I understand, but also I want my dog to, you know, play in the water and have fun. Haley is kind of a strange dog. She absolutely hates baths, screams, cries, whines, the whole thing. But anytime that we are near a river, standing water, she loves to be ankle deep and she loves to splash around. So I think she's just not like a swimmer. She doesn't like being submerged in water, but she likes the idea of water. So I thought it'd be really fun to take her to a beach and just kind of see what she does. Getting to watch her grow, experience the world, and enjoy her life is one of the things that I'm most grateful for in the world. My whole heart. She's my whole heart. She's my whole heart. Anyways. The next thing on my list is another out west one, is to soak in a natural hot springs. Seeing as I've never been out west, making this list was very easy because there is so much to do and I've done none of it. So making our way down the list, just a couple more left. Next is to stay in a treehouse. I love staying in fun Airbnbs, and Josh and I actually have a pretty substantial amount of Airbnb credit right now because we had a trip to Puerto Rico planned for the middle of April that didn't end up happening. So I just have $1,000 worth of Airbnb credits waiting for me. So I've saved so many really cool, unique Airbnb experiences. I have noticed that a lot more of the unique stays are mostly out west, which again, maybe I should just stay out west. Another thing that I'm very excited to be able to do, having the van and traveling around, is to do a sunrise hike. I want to get up like stupid early, take my travel coffee, maybe if I'm feeling a little extra fancy, a to-go latte, and hike our sleepy butts up to the top of the mountain and watch the beautiful sunrise over the mountains. It's gonna be absolutely unreal, beautiful, and I'm very excited. Josh and I are not really morning people, so hopefully we can rally. Alright, and last but not least on my hopefully summer post-quarantine 2020 bucket list is to try actual rock climbing. I know the gear for this is super expensive, so I'm thinking more along the lines of a Groupon like excursion-y sort of thing where someone who knows what they're doing talks us through everything. That way we're doing it safe, because it would be a very me thing to do to accidentally fall off of a rock and die. So I want to make sure that we have proper help so that doesn't happen. Josh and I do really enjoy going climbing at climbing gyms together, and I think this would be a really neat way to kind of take that activity and amp it up a notch, you know? Again, this is one I'm kind of afraid of, just the idea of like free falling to my death. Oof. We're still working through that one. This is going to be very interesting. We're pushing through fears, making the most of life. I'm starting to get really excited about being able to do all of these things and travel. That travel bug has definitely snuck back up on me recently. Travel has just been on the mind, and I thought this would be a really fun way to keep my spirits up, have something to look forward to. I feel like that's really important, especially through all the uncertainty, or it has been for me lately, is just to make sure that I have something that I'm looking forward to, whether in the near future or a little bit later future. So I've been trying to put really realistic things in place for myself to look forward to, whether it be cooking up something for dinner that's a little bit extra special, or a little bit extra, probably pizza. A little social distancing camping trip, carving out time with Josh to have a special date night, things like that. So this has been a really fun way for me to get to plan a couple of things for me to look forward to, keep my spirits high, and dream a little bit. Now that I've tasted the freedom that this van has to offer me, I'm just geeked. Just really excited. So, with that being said, I thought I could tell you guys a little bit more about what we're planning travel-wise later this year. So as you guys have probably gathered so far, we are headed west. We're probably going to dedicate a good 3 or 4 months to spending out west so we can really experience all that it has to offer. We do like to travel a little bit slower, spend more time in the spots that we find, just kind of chilling wherever we find ourselves. So we want to take a good chunk of time, that way we're not feeling rushed or stressed or having to stay on top of a schedule or anything like that, and just kind of see where we end up. So the plan tentatively is to start at the top of the west coast and work our way down as it starts to cool off, and spend the winter months down south where it's warm, because as I have said before, and I will say probably 100 more times on this channel, I hate the cold. So this bucket list has kind of become my out west list. But if it doesn't happen in summer, that's okay, but that's definitely what I wrote on the page, so that would be kind of annoying. Other than that, we haven't done too much planning because we don't really know when anything is going to be allowed again, what the situation is going to look like in the next few months. So this is a very loose plan that we are going by, but I had a lot of fun making this bucket list, and I'm very excited to bring you guys along for actually doing all of these things. I think it will be really fun to vlog all of this and have like a video record of me actually doing my summer bucket list. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up for me and go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Sunday, but if you don't want to miss one, you can go ahead and click that little bell as well. And on that note, I'm going to get to decorating this page because it just doesn't quite look done. See you guys next week.